Hi, welcome to TCS Everyday Psychics and TCS Conscious Spirit podcast. I'm Nathan, and this is Thursday Messaging. So, before we get to the messaging, remember to like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and please, we love to hear your comments um, uh, and how you resonated with the messaging. Yes, remember or should I advise, let you know that it's not just readings we do. If you go to our website, tcseverydaypsychics.com, we do some spiritual development. We have readings. We have we do clearings. So if there's something you have something in that goes bump in the night, or you're not too sure what's going on in your house, send us a message and we will look into it for you. It doesn't matter how big, how small. It may not be there's anything there, or earthy or entity, but it may just mean your environment in your house just needs to be refreshed and the energies revitalized. Yeah, with love. I bring up that high vibration for you. Okay, so without further ado, here are your three cards, and please take a moment to look at those cards and see what really resonates with you. And then when you've picked it, A, B, or C, slide along to the messaging. Thank you. I hope it resonated with you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Okay, hi, Group A. Well, here we have, I hope you can see this. This is your card, and it says, there is more where that came from. Interesting. So, what I'm going to do today, Group A, is I'm going to shake it up a little bit. So, we're going to do something different. So, bear with me. It's for the first time I've done this. So, yeah, fingers crossed, everything goes all right. So, we're choosing this card, and that's our main focus of our subject matter, where we're focusing for the week, or could be for the month, could be for the year, wherever resonates with you. I'm going to also, with this card, I'm going to add some boon cards and some oracle cards, and then choose some tarot cards. So let's put that to one side for the moment. Actually, so we've got this card, so let's choose two rune cards now. Oops. And we're going to do this. There, goes in there. We have enough. Okay, those to one side. Those up there. So let's look at this. So we have this oracle card there. More is where there is more where that comes from. Well, to me, it feels the phrase suggests flow, unseen reserves, and the promise that when you're tapped into what you're tapped into is only a doorway, only a doorway, not a final destination. See, spirit often uses bold, concise language, to jolt us into recognizing the larger field of possibility behind our current experience. So when you see or hear this, there is more where that came from. It feels like your soul is being invited to expand, not just to enjoy what's present. And it's important you entrust in the inexhaustible word, well of guidance from spirit, their resources and opportunities that the universe holds. So you could sort of go, well, what about personal growth? How can I use this? How can I understand this this comment, this phrase in personal growth? Well, it's about the depth of the transformation, and it expands beyond the current insight stage. It's about staying curious. It's like journaling. It's let your inner guidance lead you to those deeper levels, perhaps mindfulness, breath work, or shadow work that reveals the unseen aspects of yourself. So in what about relationships, community? Well, it's about the richness of those connections in new friendships, partnerships, reconciliations. Each can teach you greater compassion, teach you those boundaries, mutual support. You know, the connection you nurtured is fertile. It doesn't just stop there. With your career, well, there are additional ventures. Feels like there's collaborations or expressions of your purpose that merges you to test ideas, you know, expand your knowledge, expanding those inspired risks. And it's important you listen to the subtle guidance from mentors or your inner compass. Quite a lot. I mean, this is just like I could open a can and so much information come out, so much understanding you could get from just this comment. So let's put that up there. So we picked 2 runes, and we have here, I don't know if you can see that, we have here Gibo, and that's about generosity and balance. And we have Radio, and that's about movement, travel. And if we put these together, this pairing invites you into a lesson of flow, of movement, and the exhaustible field of exchange that underpins all abundance. You know, because you've got generosity here. You know, that's the abundance what you're getting. So Gibo, it embodies gift, partnership, balance, especially a balanced exchange. And the radio, that's about represents travel, movement, and the rhythms of how energy flows through space and time. I love this card. I don't know if you can see it. It's sort of like it's got the ship, such well drawn. I like to have the colours gleam. So together, I feel they indicate that every single of generosity or successful transmission is part of a larger ongoing stream. You see, what you received is not the final endpoint, but a doorway into further flow, provided you honour the laws of balance, timing, and responsible action. They support that quite well. So let's put those up there. So let's pick some oracle cards. Whoop, I won't take that. Okay, I might just do it this way actually, because I. Okay, so let's see what we get for this week for you. Hey, trust. Okay. Well, you know, if you think there is more where that comes from. It's about trusting your instinct, trusting your belief, your systems, your grounding. To trust that there is more out there. to trust that you have connected in that relationship, trusting that your spiritual guidance is signaling and communicating with you and expanding with you. It's trusting. Yeah, because we said about partnerships and career, and it's trusting those adventures and ventures and those collaborations are part of the purpose. The risks that you take, you're going to trust. You're going to trust that they're on point. They're moving. That movement, allowing yourself to move forward, allowing yourself to travel. You're going to trust that feeling, and in turn, the generosity will flow. Okay, let's see what else we get. Oh, hang on. We have growth. Well, that says all really with this one. There is more where that came from. Well, if you suddenly didn't think this comment, and it's like you come to a dead end, you stop. What's the chance of growing? You're not going to grow. You're just going to remain where you are. You want the movement, the freedom, the flow, the abundant flow. You need that to grow, because within that you'll get the generosity. Within that you get the partnerships. With that growth, you'll get more travel. The rhythms of time and space will increase. It will there'll be abundance. So really, it's saying don't think of this phrase as a one-stop shop. You have to look outside the box. You have to look at what you're doing, and it's not just about you either. It's the people around you. So this week it's about sort of just allowing and trusting those around you, what they're bringing to the table is going to help you all grow. Okay, so let's take one of these. Okay. I'll take that one. Judgment. There is more to. There is more to. There is more where that comes from. You see this card, Judgment. You can see that. Yeah, can you see that? I mean, that's all about, you could say it about administrative paper procedures, fines, because this is the Akasha Oracle. But I think this is about you have the opportunity here, especially with the growth and the trust. You need to account for your actions that might, for instance, that might put not a stop, but a pause to this growth, a pause to being able the flow of what's happening this week. Maybe this is sort of saying, okay, it's great to grow, but hang on, if you're just like, with your finger out and it's wet and going testing is it northeast, southwest, or where we're going, and you've got no plan. If you're not careful, everything could be um, a path for disaster. But while you're growing, while you're that abundance is coming in and trusting what you're doing, you need to account for your insights. You need to account for your actions. See, the judgment card evokes the idea of taking stock of your actions. And it's important you do that because you don't want it to bite you in the ass. You don't want this week to bite you in the ass. It's great to grow. You might be doing a business, growing your business. If you're doing anything backhander, it will bite you on the ass. I'm telling you now. So it's important to do everything spiritually and physically on point within the law, within rules and regulations. Oh, I like that one. So I'm just going to move that here because that's quite funny how we have this. And then we have truth, higher self. So your angels this week are saying, it's in this week, your higher self is maybe it's asking you if there is more where that came from. Maybe this week is that you're needing to find the truth about something. And then it's about trusting your instinct, trusting your guidance, trusting your belly. It's this card is about honesty, it's about clarity, observation. So there's more where that comes from. Maybe you need to be more observant, not take things for face value this week. It's about being a bit inquisitive, being a bit detective, being Sherlock Holmes. It's and finding the truth of an argument, find the truth of a statement or an action. It's about also looking at yourself. If you look here, she's opening up. Maybe the truth is you discovering the truth about your behaviors. It's about so that you can become free, the healing process of finding out the truth of how can I get through this. There is more where that came from. Your healing process doesn't just stop with action 1 and 2. Healing is a constant progress, constant growth. Constant growth is healing. And maybe the truth is you need to explore more what I need. Okay, so let's choose. Oh, tarot cards. Okay, so what have we got? 10 of Pentacles. And let me just move those there. Just make sure you could all see that. Yeah. So we've got the 10 of Pentacles, the 7 of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. And to help with this week's reading, and how can these cards help us this week with there is more where that came from? Well, we look at the 10 of Pentacles. This is about legacy, abundance. Oh, it's the second abundance we got. It's about inheritance, community, wealth. So it feels like you're standing at a threshold or a lasting material and common wealth that extends beyond you this week. This card speaks to soil well tend across generations. You know, your family, your lineage, your community support, and a sense of being part of something larger than yourself. You know, that growth. Something here is about larger than yourself. It's about you growing. And why it matters for where that came from is the abundance you've noticed feels like it's not going to be a one-off this week. It's a doorway. Here we get that doorway again into fields of resources, whether it be financial or whether it be relations, cultural. And the message invites you to think long term. You know, pies saying think long term. You know, recognize that the next layer of abundance often comes through shared legacy and collaborative generosity. You know, you need to trust those around you, trust those family members to help you grow, to help you move, to help you be balanced and get that generosity. So the Seven of Cups, how's they going to help this one? Well, this is about dreams, choices, illusion, multiple of choices, all those choices. Which one do I choose? Which one should I choose? Well, if you choose the wrong one, could bite you on the ass. You know, why does this matter? You see, this card honors our capacity to imagine many futures, but it also warns of distraction and illusion. So why does it matter with the there is more where that comes from? Well, if abundance is expanding and we're growing, you will not only encounter more doorways, but more pathways. And it feels like the spiritual task this week is to filter these options, filter your options, should I say, through integrity, through inner guidance and practical feasibility, so that there is more, isn't just more options, but it's about more meaningful, aligned opportunities. Next one is the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords is back. I would say, it's the sword of truth. Funny enough, we have truth here. It goes in line. You know, the sword of truth. Well, this card is about clarity. You know, the truth. It's about breakthrough, bold insight. So it's feeling like, you know, this week it's about truth telling, decisive action. You know, this card marks a moment, maybe of clean insight that you're going to receive. Remember, trust it, trust the receiving that information that can shed a light through confusion that you may be receiving this week. It's about the expansion you sense requires that clear plan or conviction. The Eight of Swords empowers you to move the next step of your decision to be able to grow, to get that movement with precision. Cut away the ambiguity, cut away the crap. And it's about weather the transition, weather the movement. So if I put all those together, it feels like this week that this comment suggests that what you're tapped into is just the opening of a much larger field. And when it's paired with these tarot cards, it feels like the message weaves a path of abundant lineage, discerning choices, and clear cognitive action that tilts towards that sustainable, meaningful expansion and growth and balance. But most importantly, you need to trust what's happening this week. Well, I hope that made some sense. Thank you for sharing this new way of doing things. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you think. I would really love that. So till next time, have a great week and I will speak to you soon. Take care. Hi, Group B. Well, welcome. So welcome to a different way of doing things this week. So you've all chosen a card. And what I'm going to do is then I'm going to pick 2 rune cards to help us with a deeper meaning of this card. And then I've got some oracle cards here, and I'll pick a few of them, and 3 tarot cards at the end to help enhance the messaging for this week. Obviously, don't forget, I'm saying this week, it could resonate this week, it could resonate next month, the following month, or for the whole year. It's what resonates with you. So what I'm getting, is important to you. So we have the card here. Okay, so let me going to choose 2 rune cards. And okay. Okay, so I've got here 2 rune cards. Lovely. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's put that over there. Okay, so our main focus, our main message is this card. It says connection. Connection is the only game. Connection is the only game. Well, I feel that this phrase centers the soul on relationships and interdependence. That's what I feel. I don't know if that resonates. It feels like it invites you to see life not as a series of isolated tasks, but as an ongoing rhythm of bonds, between self and source, between self and people, nature, and even the larger field of consciousness. It feels like when you encounter this card, it's about the invitation to prioritize genuine connection as the highest currency. Connection's the only game. The deepest teacher and the truest measure of meaning is the highest currency is a genuine connection with people. We said the relationships doesn't mean gaming, playing with those relationships. It's about how the connection is the most important thing, not the game. Okay, so we've got 2 runes here. First rune is I have Volcano. I hope I said that right. Apologies if I didn't. Beautiful cards. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see that. It's fantastic. This is fertility. It's about growth. Oh, Group 1 had growth. This is about growth and fertility. And we have here, it's a little bit different. It's not a rune, but this is Waxing Crescent, Premier Horizont. And as you can see, it's sort of like, just at the side of the moon. And it's about setting intentions. So this card's about setting intentions. So connection is the only game. Connection is the only game. So I feel, well, if this was your personal growth, it feels like it's about practicing honest and compassionate communication. Seek accountability with those who reflect your higher self back to you. How about, um, it's about the inner work thrives in the relationships, with your mentors, your healers, or supportive peers. In relationships, it's about listening, boundary respecting intimacy to improve the connection. It's about spiritual and emotional connection. You've been asked to show up. It feels like as a this week as a co-creator of harmony rather than the isolated participant. You know, spiritual this week. Well, it's saying being part of communal settings. It's being part of study groups, practices. It's about looking for opportunities to practice spirituality with others, not just in solitude. Remember, it's the connection that is important. Um, takes two to tango. You could say, well, three or four is better than one. It's being together. The game here rewards generosity, shared vision, and the ability to hold space for others as well as your own. So with these runes, put these together. See, Bacano, it's the act of setting intention together to point that nourishing and intentional field of relationship. See, Bacano invites, embodies growth, nurturing, home life, and the living roots of life. Now, where paired with the practice of setting intention, this runic pairing invites you to cultivate those connections. It invites you to cultivate those connections that are sustainable. Yeah, not just a one one day hit, but sustainable relationships that are sincere and are deeply aligned with your inner truth. This message is not just about being with others, obviously, but about cultivating those authentic connections. And it's important that you cultivate those connections and can take root, that can flourish and support the highest good for all those involved. So I feel what I'm getting from this week, it's really important that the growth is about the connection of people. It's not just about the game. Yeah, the game here rewards generosity, shared vision, but it's the connection that's important. And it's important that you set the intention. Actually, I'm going to move that way. That way, it feels like it should be there. Setting the intention, the growth. Okay, let's pick a few of these cards. Oh, what we got? That one or that one? Okay, which one should I pick? Which one should I pick? Oh, let's pick both, shall we? Okay. Acceptance, transcending. Mm. It's about accepting the connection of others. No holds barred. There's no it's done innocently, it's done simply, it's done with passion. It's accepting other people's viewpoint, other people's ideas, being part of that shared community. And sometimes it is hard accepting some people, but it's for the greater good. You can say for the greater good of the game. Transcending. I might have to look at the book on transcending. I mean, it's transcending. I mean, Pegasus is amazing, and you know, um, he helped Hercules. Hercules? No, wasn't Hercules. Oh, I can't remember his name. Okay, self-confidence. I'm going to just look at this book. And let's look at Pegasus 28. Just want to see. So I don't know all the oracle cards off by heart, but it's a transcending. It's Pegasus represents the immortality of your spirit and the journey to the heavens. The appearance of this card is a sign. Get ready for dramatic activation of your spiritual journey. The spiritual journey, accepting your spiritual journey and making those connections with spirit, with spiritual people. Remember us earlier, I said that maybe it's time to practice your spirituality with others. Why be on your own? It's a lonely can be a lonely experience. This week or this month is going to be a powerful transformation for you. Great things are possible in your life. Prepare yourself to fly high above all adversity. Oh, how amazing! That's great. Um, that's amazing, and it's accepting that transcendence. It's accepting the growth, and with that comes that self confidence. See this card, it feels like it believes in your uh, um, abilities. It's you believing in how you can make these connections, how you can transcend. In it's it's about achieving your potential, believing in yourself to achieve your potential. It's having that self-confidence to get you there. Okay, we've got these are the angel cards. And what are the angel? What are they? Oh, I think it might be that one. What are the angels? What advice can they give this? Well, with that connection is the connection is the only game. I mean, the joy guides here are saying pleasure. Pleasure. Well, for me, that feels like again, do we have abundance? Well, growth. Pleasure is about abundance. It's about growth. This is about fulfillment. It's enjoying what you're doing. It's enjoying those connections. It's enjoying the transcendence. It's, and with that confidence, that self-confidence from you to um, have that satisfaction in what you do, you know, and also don't forget, it feels like the angel cards here are saying, have fun, enjoy yourself, allow the good times to roll. Remember, life is to be enjoyed, not endured. And you can so, and can so, it can so be stronger when others are involved. So I know sometimes gets really, but it's important. Relax and enjoy life. Relax and enjoy the connections of others. everything will be okay. Okay, so I'm just now going to, let's choose some three tarot cards to help support the message this week of connection. It's its own game. Growth, abundance, self-confidence. It's enjoying the process, enjoying the movement. I will not set those cards to me there. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, can you see? I hope you can see in camera. Great. Oh, we have the Hermit, Seven of Pentacles, and the Eight of Swords. These are beautiful cards. So we've got so with these three cards, I'll go through each one and then how they are helping with our story this week, our situation. Well, here's the Hermit. And the Hermit card is about inner guidance, about solitude, discernment, and the search for truth beyond surface appearances. I love that. Such a beautiful card. The Hermit lights. I mean, it's coming out of his head, but lights a lantern, and that's about the self. Lights the lantern for the self, and for our fathers who are ready to see with deeper sight. It feels. So what sort of what revelation or what relevance? I mean, what relevance is the Hermit card to our main card this week? Well, remember, true connection begins with a clear seeing of your own truth. It's about listening to your inner guidance and approach relationships, that connection, from a place of rounded authenticity rather than need or projection. I mean, I could go even more, but we'd be here all day. So we've got the next one, the Seven of Pentacles. What's the Seven of Pentacles? It's about patience, early harvest. It's about evaluating the next step. Where am I going? This week is about even though we've got the connection, we said the connection this week. It's about also your deliberate tending of growth, but it's a slow process. The Seven of Pentacles, it's assessing what has been sown and what remains to be nurtured. It honors clinical timing and the reality that fruits take time. So this week it's about ensuring that your connections this week are sustainable. And some require cultivation. So it's saying this week it's important you are asked to invest thoughtfully in relationships, in connections. Monitor the growth and be willing to wait for the right yields, the right moments, and having that confidence to trust the process, trust the movement. We next have the Eight of Swords. Now, the Eight of Swords is about restriction. It's about limitation. It's about thinking. It's about thinking. It's about that mental constriction. self-imposed barriers. It's and the feeling that one is trapped, and it's all in the mind, obviously. So this card invites you this week to recognize where your mind keeps you bound and to take steps to reframe and release those constraints. Because maybe this week you're doubting your self-confidence, you're doubting the acceptance, you're doubting, oh, should I be having fun and not just going with the flow? So we put all these three cards together, and with our connection is the only game. It feels like this reading weaves together themes of inner illusion, inner illumination. I was going to say illusion, inner illumination, patient cultivation, and the liberation that comes from releasing those constraining thoughts. And when these cards, I feel like when these cards appear alongside our main card here, it feels like the connection is the central game. The connection is the central game. It feels like the guidance asks you to turn inward for clarity. It's about tending those relationships with steady nurture. And it's about freeing yourself from the mental cages that block the authentic bond. You want to get the result of this week for a more sustainable form of connection. And this will arise from your inner wisdom and the deliberate actions you take forward. But remember, it's important that you make the connections reality rather than just what's in your head or what could be, what if. Take those away. Accept your gut feeling, accept your inner guidance, and that will help improve your self-confidence. Well, there was different this week, Group B. I hope you enjoyed it. Yes, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope there was some sort of meaning. I'm glad you. Please comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you think. And if it's not good, tell me, because then I will do something different. But let me know, and I will see you next time. Take care. I Group C. So welcome. As you can see, can't see my face, but you can hear me, hopefully. And we're doing something a little bit different this week. So I thought we would pick a main card. You've chosen this main card. And I'm going to pick some couple of rune cards, some oracle cards, and 3 tarot cards to help embody the message this week and help us help you either this week, this month, this year, whatever resonates with you. And take whatever I'm saying, take what resonates with you, because there may be stuff that, don't understand that, but I've got that card, I've got that card. Oh, I can understand the tarot cards. Take whatever resonates here. And it can be at any time. It doesn't have to be this week. So I may say this week, but it could be this month, this year. Who knows? Whatever is what, takes your fancy. So, Group C, you chose this card. You're not supposed to always be happy. Let happy sleep. Can you see that? I hope you can see that. Yep, good. Okay, so let you're not supposed to be always happy. Let happy sleep. Well, this phrase, it feels like it invites a radical redefinition of happiness. It instead it honors the full spectrum of human experience, soothing, rest, quiet contentment, deep healing that can occur when we allow happier states to rest, integrate, or even pause. See, Spirit often asks us to release the tyranny of perpetual positivity and to trust the natural rhythms of emergence. Sometimes rest is the doorway to renewal, the doorway to happiness, and it can come and go like the tides. So, in a personal growth situation, what's this card telling us? Well, it feels like it's saying practice, notice when happiness rises, when it ebbs, and when it needs to take back seat to rest or process. I think it would be exhausting if you're happy all the time. But I think all this says your personal growth is it's important to foster that emotional maturity, that emotional patience, that emotional resilience. And then when you move it into your relationships and community, it's about honoring your cycles, honoring the authentic, the connections with others who accept you in all states, whether you're happy or not, or not. Remember, your presence may be a beacon, not only when you're joyful, but also when you're resting or when you're navigating difficulty. And in our spiritual practice, it feels like the sacred spiritual can be felt in stillness. And it's about surrendering and the gentle unraveling that follows rest. It's being subtle when the mind isn't fixated on happiness as the only measure, which would be stupid if you believe that. You're not supposed to always be happy. Let happy sleep. It's like saying, I think it's important at times to let happiness, let happy have a day off or take the afternoon off. I'm sure if people thought you were 24/7 happy all the time, you're probably on something. Yeah, I do know there are some drugs that do that. But in the long term, it doesn't help everyone around you. It doesn't help you because it's exhausting. Not the happiness, it's the energy. And you need to rest. You need to reflect. You need to take stock when it's time to stop. So I say to you, maybe this week or this month or this year, it's about let happy sleep and you will be a better person. Okay, so I'm going to get some runes here and we're going to see what we can turn them up there. Get some runes. Yeah, that's right. And that's right. That two top ones. Okay, so what have we got? Okay. Ooh, okay, well, let's move that there. And we've got Algiers, Protection, Shield. Love these cards. And then the next one, we have Isa. That's ego, introspection. So, feels like this pairing invites a sober, protective, and compassionate relationship to joy and rest. See, Algis, apologies, I've said these names wrong. Algis is a rune of protection, boundaries, um, higher perspective. Isa is embodies stillness, pause, contraction, and clear boundaries in the flow of time. And together, it suggests that the guardianship of your of your higher self is essential for authentic happiness to arise. Remember, joy is not compulsory, and resting the urge to be on and doing that on all the time creates space for that deeper well-being to mature. It's important. It helps improve your clarity by getting that rest, by getting that yeah, getting the rest. Very important. So that quite worked. So I'm going to choose some oracle cards now. Let's see what we get from here. Now, some of these, I know most of these cards. A couple of cards I don't need, so I may need to look at the book. Apologies, but that will help. Okay. And right, I'm going to take that one. Generosity. That one's leadership. Interesting. Definitely. You know, if you're not generous, it feels like don't let happy sleep. The generosity gets smaller, smaller, and smaller. By allowing happy to sleep, the feeling of generosity grows. And it's taking the upper hand, it's taking the leadership, taking, I want to say control, but it feels like more mindful than anything else. Um, taking the first steps, moving forward. Um, what else? It's the unknown, because where will this leadership take you? How much by by allowing you to sleep, taking that um, uh, mindset, taking the taking the I've gone blank. My mind's gone blank. But allowing you to sleep, taking that time, is taking control, taking the driving seat to greater heights, allowing others to see what you're doing. Remember, you are a beacon for others, and um, it's about what you do. Others will see and watch. If you're not allowing yourself to sleep, allowing that happiness to sleep, so that when you are awake, you are happy. You're in, you are the passion comes through, they will see that. People will understand, following in your footsteps. Maybe this is the time for you to step up, to show others. You know, if you're going in grumpy all the time, why? Is it because you haven't had enough sleep? Is that a good trait for you being a leader? Or if each day you're going in and being generous and being uplifting and being passionate and full of joy because you're allowing yourself to sleep, not only are you growing and healing within yourself, but you're allowing others to see your development, your growth, and will want to be part of that. See, I think this is the white stag here, and this white stag in spirituality is um, is spiritual wisdom. You know, people looking up to you and seeing that spiritual wisdom and feeling, I want to be part of that. Generosity just feels like you being more open to people's ideas, more open to people's abilities, being open to connections. When you haven't slept, you're just shut down. You're closed off, dead end. You know, you're not generous at all. You're a miger. You're not nice to be with. So it's saying, you know, these are the attributes people see, and what you feel will grow yourself and grow others. And then we have circle, red and white roses. What's this saying? What's this saying this week? Well, red and white, right? I can't speak. Red and white roses, circle 44. Well, what I do know, when the red and white are brought together, it signifies unity. And that feels for you to be happy, you need to let happy sleep, for the yin and yang, for the unity. See, the circle represents the opposition of alignment between your heart and mind. You know, when you lack judgment, maybe when you haven't had enough sleep, you're grumpy. You allow yourself to be influenced and overwhelmed by your emotions, and that can lead you down a terrible path of wrong decision making and actions actions put into place that make no sense either for you or other people. So it's important in the circle of life, it's important for your heart and your mind that happiness needs to sleep. It's important for you to sleep. It's important then, if by doing so, unity will um, cherish. Also, I know that with this as well, if you are a leader, the circle this week or this year or whatever resonates you is showing that there is a project coming up, a new project at work or a new project personally, and it's going to need your leadership to go forward. But just be mindful you get your rest. Even though you're a happy soul, you don't want to be grumpy. So it's important that with this new project and leadership, that you are looking after your mind and your heart. So let's see what angels, what advice, support are they giving us? Oh, I'm going to take that one. A leap of faith. Guardian angels, your guardian angels this week is saying, take that leap of faith. Take that leap of faith. And, you know, it's the leap of faith. Can you see that? Can you see that? Great. The leap of faith is it's about trusting your intuition. It's about having that confidence to take the risk. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's that confidence. Okay, let's move on. Don't get bogged down by if it didn't, the plan didn't go all well. But it's better to do something than nothing at all. It's better for the movement. It's better to get that clarity. So it feels like this reading is asking your guardian angel, feels like it's asking you and encouraging you to go inward and pray for confidence and protection as you move ahead. Remember, ask the universe to reassure you as you go forward. The changes you are considering will be the answers to your prayers. You know, it's whatever you do, go for it, because your angels will be there. Your guardian angel will be there for you for support. They love you for what you do. And ask them for the direction, ask them for guidance, and they'll try and help. And remember, don't forget to trust your intuition, trust your gut. Take that leap of faith. It's important. Okay. Probably come back to more of that down. So I'm going to choose 3 cards. And okay. Ooh, we have the Tower, 2 of Wands, and Lovers. Oh, well, it seems there's a lot of happiness here, but what's this about? What's the Tower about? I mean, if you think about it, can you see that? Sorry, you can see that. Great, the Tower. Well, the Tower is about upheaval. It's sudden revelation. It's dismantling of false foundation, the crumbling, but um, it's also a cosmic reset that clears away what no longer serves you, and then you build again. So that'll crumble, fall down, but then you go in, you build a new tower, and it's for your highest good. So, in relevance to you're not supposed to always be happy, let happy sleep. The tower, it feels like it asserts that false happiness or denial of disruption is unsustainable. If it are continuously happening, you are going to crumble, you are going to fall. When an old structure crumbles, there is unhappiness or fear. And that very loosening opens up space. So once that starts to crumbling, a more truthful well-being will emerge. We said if that crumbles down and collapses, something new emerges. May not be as tall as this tower, but it eventually grows. So it's about what this card feels like. This card is saying to me, for you this week, it's about let happiness sleep. It's very important. If it is tethered to a compassionate foundation, And it's important for you to move forward this week. We then have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands. And it's about vision. It's about planning. It's about stepping into a new horizon and choosing which path am I going to take. It's thinking about it before I make the move forward. As you know, number 3 is about the execution of what you're planning in Two of Wands. And it signals an active co-creation of your future. So this week, I said the circle and it was about new projects coming. Well, it's about planning it correctly. It's about implementing. It's about having that vision. It's stepping into leadership to take you forward. You see, after the Tower, the Two of Wands feels like asks you to consciously choose your direction. Where are you going? You have the opportunity to set intentions that align with your deeper truths. And it's important. The next phase will require curiosity. It will require courage and strategic preparation. But as a good leader, you will put that in place. Because we have introspection in the ego one here. That's inner self. Okay, we then have lovers. Lovers. Now, this is about alignment of values, meaningful relationships, and their choices. And it's about integrity between heart and action, and the sacred agreement between parts of yourself, and in pursuit, obviously, for the higher good. Now, the Lovers card often calls for that authentic connection. It's funny, we've got this here. Group B it was all about their connection, improving connections. And here we have the Lovers, and it is about the authentic connection, whether it be a person or a path. Remember, Two of Swords, it was saying, choose your direction wisely. And this is where this really enforced with the Lovers. And it's saying the same, the authentic connection with a person, life path, or decision, choose it wisely. And with that, happiness is this light. It's the light. It's about using the light of happiness. And what did I say? Oh, I've just gone blank. So let's start again. So choosing the right path of and in happiness, and in this light is the result of choosing with clarity, courage, compassion, all the C's, and not merely chasing a pleasurable feeling. And this is where the Lovers will help you choose that authentic connection of happiness. So this combination this week invites a bold reorientation. It's where structures rely on for happiness must fall this week, this month, this year, or shift. They'll either fall or shift. And it's important your true alignment arises not from clinging to joy, but from regrounding in truth and choosing the correct futures, the correct path, entering relationships and choices that honor your authentic wholeness. See, the Trower disrupts without malice to clear away illusions. The two wands invites expansive vision and deliberate planning. And then the lovers call you into conscious alignment to help with those values and intimate harmony and partnerships and generosity. And it's important to Yvonne's, you take that leap of faith by homing in into your gut feeling, into your senses. And together, with all these, it feels like you will be guided in towards a transformative path. It feels like where happiness is redefined as integrity, authentic connection, that purposeful motion, movement, rather than a constant emotional garnish. I hope that made sense. Probably wobbled on a bit more, too much. But remember, take whatever resonates with you. And yeah, and I hope you have a great week. Until next time, I look forward to seeing you then. Yeah, take care.